Chuck Connors wasn't just the man behind the rifle, he was a walking contradiction. With his rugged charm and steely stare, he became an American icon on television. But few knew that his real story was packed with even more drama than any Western he starred in. Behind that cowboy hat was a pro athlete, a political oddity, and a man quietly changing lives. The Rifleman made him famous, but it didn't even scratch the surface. From a shocking friendship with a Soviet leader to a secret passion for helping underprivileged kids, Connors' life was full of surprising twists. This wasn't your average Hollywood actor chasing fame. He played in the big leagues, brushed shoulders with world leaders, and still found time for charity. His legacy isn't just a role on TV, it's a reminder that sometimes the most interesting stories are the ones we never saw on screen. Long before Hollywood came calling, Chuck Connors was a kid named Kevin Joseph Aloysius Connors growing up in Brooklyn. The dusty plains of the Old West were worlds away from the gritty streets where he honed his athletic skills. Towering at 6'5", he wasn't just tall, he was a natural-born athlete, and his raw talent didn't go unnoticed. He wasn't chasing the spotlight back then, he was chasing baseballs and basketballs and catching both. Connors achieved what most athletes only dream of. He went pro in not one, but two major sports. He played baseball for the Brooklyn Dodgers and Chicago Cubs, and basketball for the Boston Celtics during the early days of the NBA. Only a handful of people in history have pulled that off. But despite his elite performance on the field and court, destiny had other plans. Hollywood wasn't even on his radar till fate took the wheel. Chuck Connors didn't set out to become a TV legend. Acting came almost by accident. Brief film appearance, casting agents were drawn to his strong presence and natural confidence. But when he was offered the lead role in The Rifleman, he hesitated. Connors feared being boxed into a single image, worried that playing a cowboy might limit his future in acting. Still, he took the risk, and it changed everything. As Lucas McCain, he played a widowed rancher raising his son in the Wild West, armed with a rapid-fire Winchester and a deep moral code. The show ran from 1958 to 1963 and became an instant classic. But off-screen, Connors was even more respected. He treated cast and crew like family, mentored young actors, and never let stardom make him arrogant. The role made him famous, but it was his character off camera that made him unforgettable. While Connors came across as steady and composed on screen, his personal life told a more tangled story. He was married 3 times, each relationship strained by the relentless pace of his career. His second wife, Kamala Devi, starred alongside him in Geronimo, and their romance was splashed across headlines. But fame has a way of testing even the strongest bonds, and Connors often struggled to balance love with the demands of Hollywood. Then came a twist no one saw coming. His unlikely friendship with Soviet leader Leonid Brezhnev in 1973 during a diplomatic visit to the U.S. Connors personally gifted Brezhnev a custom rifle. The moment made international news and stunned Cold War America. For a man who once played a frontier gunslinger, becoming a symbol of cross-border diplomacy was the last thing anyone expected. Yet Connors embraced it with the same confidence he brought to every role. While Chuck Connors thrived in the limelight, some of his most meaningful work happened far from the cameras. He quietly dedicated years to helping underprivileged children, veterans, and anyone who needed a hand. It wasn't for publicity. Most of his charitable efforts went unreported. He donated both time and money, visiting hospitals, supporting local causes, and standing up for those often forgotten. His compassion extended beyond people. Connors had a deep respect for animals and supported wildlife conservation efforts throughout his life. Despite his fame, he never got lost in the Hollywood machine. He preferred the simple things: time with his children, community work, and the outdoors. To those who knew him personally, Connors wasn't just a TV star. He was a grounded, generous man who lived with purpose and never needed applause to prove it. When Chuck Connors passed away in 1992 from lung cancer, the world mourned the loss of a television icon. But those who truly knew his story understood he was much more than the Rifleman. His life was a patchwork of unexpected turns, from pro sports to diplomacy, from cowboy fame to quiet acts of kindness. Connors lived boldly but stayed grounded, never letting success blur his sense of self. He left behind a legacy that defied stereotypes, a towering figure who could shoot straight on screen and speak softly in real life. Whether he was gifting rifles to world leaders or lifting up the forgotten, Connors showed that a real hero doesn't need a script. His story is a reminder that sometimes the most powerful legends are built off camera, in the quiet choices no one sees.